Hey everyone, so I'm getting used to a new phone here. Unfortunately, it was time to get a new phone, and I hate making these kinds of changes just because the technology never works the same way twice. Um, anyway, that was done today. I have to take tomorrow off. Can't show any houses because I have to go to the real estate board to get the new kernel for the new phone, and I'll take care of that on Monday. So, unfortunately. But it does give me the chance to be able to do this video and to be able to test how uploading into my YouTube channel will work on the new phone. So that's all good. Gives me some time to get this done. This week's market update is here as follows. So when we look at this week, we had 57 homes that have sold. And there were three condos, so 57, 59, 60. So 60 houses technically, because last week I looked at condos as well too, but this list doesn't have condos. So it's just homes in Windsor, Tecumseh, and LaSalle, the places that I pay attention to. So in those areas, we sold 57 houses. Last week, we sold 64. The average list price was $29 million. Last week was $30 million, so we're right on track. No real variance there week over week. Yes, it's down $1 million, but next week it could be up $1 million, so it's all the same. The average overbid was 11,972. Last week the average overbid was 9,000. So up a little bit because we're getting into our fall selling season, our winter selection. We had the same number of units available, about 734, I think it was, across the entire zone. And if we look at or under, we're 25, which was 43.8%. Again, comparing that to last week, at and under were 35 for 54.6%. So there was a little uptick in being overbid. A little bit of an uptick in being overbid. Average value or average selling volume was 29.6. Compared that to 30,985. Okay. Average list is where things changed because we're selling out our cheap houses. We only had cheap houses for a limited amount of time, houses under 300,000. This week we only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 houses under 300,000 of the 57. So we're getting out of that inventory. That's why it's so important to be out there looking at houses if you only have $300,000 to spend. Once we get through these, by the time we get into January, we're going to be back to just $500,000 houses again. We're not going to have any inventory in the cheaper houses. It's just how it's going to happen. Happens every year that way. We just happen to have a couple of months of cheap houses. So we got to get out there and we got to be looking. It happens now when we have the supply. It's like when your Ford dealership all of a sudden gets a supply of pickup trucks that aren't sold. They put them on the lot and then they say available now, but hurry. And you better hurry if you're looking for a Ford pickup truck. Because once they're sold, they're gone. You can't get them back, which is part of the problem with this supply chain stuff. So I've been relentless about the concept that, yes, just because we have cheap houses now does not mean that 2 months from now we're going to have cheap houses. I just don't know. But historically, once we sell through the cheap houses, they're gone. They're going to somebody else, and somebody else is going to be living in those cheap houses. Or I say cheap houses, maybe that's not the right word to use. Maybe it's inexpensive houses or houses under $300,000. Because once they're gone, they're gone. They don't come back. And when they do come back, they're spruced up and they're more than $300,000. So if we're looking for $300,000 houses, we have to be out there looking now because now's the time to be doing it. So I'll get off that high horse. The average list price for the week was $508,000. You can see how it's changing. $508,000 average list price. Average list price last week was $475,000. Average list price the week before was $448,000. So 448, 475, 505. The cheap houses are going away. That's skewing our numbers higher. I rest my point. The math proves the math. So, get off my high horse there. Average sale price, $520,000. Average sale price, $480,000 last week. Average sale price the week before, $465,000. So you can see how the Windsor market is getting stronger. 465, 484, 520. It's all right there. It's all in the math. It's all in the numbers. So please, if you're looking for an inexpensive house in the city of Windsor, please be out there looking with your realtor. It's a great time to be buying them because once they're gone, they're gone. They don't come back. So I hope that helps those. I have 3 that are currently in the process of looking for less than $300,000. And yet what's weird is that we're not out looking at houses. We should be out looking at houses because once they're gone, they're gone. And that's why I'm trying to put a little bit of pressure with this video on that. Now, tomorrow I can't show you any houses at all because my phone doesn't work. But Monday we can be out there looking at houses. Monday 9 a.m. I'll be over at the real estate board getting my phone fixed so that I can get into the listings to be able to help you find a inexpensive house. Investors are coming in and they're buying them all up. Corporations are coming in and they're buying them all up because it's really, really rare anywhere in Canada to find a house under $300,000. The dirt alone is worth $125,000. How much is the wood worth? How much is the labor worth? How much is all of that worth? It adds up fast. And luckily I was able to get one under $300,000 done, and it closes this week on Friday or Thursday, actually. And I'm going to be the one taking responsibility for that house for a little while, and then I'll be out there getting it leased as well too for my client. But just wanted to talk directly to those folks looking for inexpensive houses. The trend is changing here in the city of Windsor. That's a huge thing because that helps everybody. It lifts all of us higher. Those of us that are selling real estate, at the very least, it lifts us higher. The commission checks are a little bit bigger. You know, getting a commission check on an average selling price of $465 sure is nice. Don't get me wrong. But getting a commission check when the average selling price is $484 is a little bit higher. And then getting a commission check when the average selling price is $520 is a little bit higher. Getting a pay raise now instead of a pay cut again. Of course, there's lots of people becoming realtors, though, so everybody thinks that it's one of the easiest jobs in the world, but it's one of the most difficult jobs in the world. And that's why we are going to start, and we have at the real estate board started to see some people give up their real estate license. It's like, oh, I didn't know it was this hard. Well, nothing is easy. But anyways, that is the weekly review for this week. If we look at some specific houses in here, like I always do, the inexpensive houses here. So looking at 324 on Parent's Wonderful Road. Dougal, Wonderful Road. Niagara, okay. McEwen, Wonderful Road. Elm, Wonderful Road. St. Luke, awesome road. $280,000 on St. Luke. Moy, Tranby. This was a screaming deal on Tranby. Windermere, Monmouth, Rossini, all great roads. Armstrong, this was one that I was hoping to have an offer on. It sold for $501,000. Another one I was hoping to have an offer on was 2124 Luxury, which is fine. I showed this house, and it sold for $565,000. My client that was seeing that house with me is watching this video, and that's why I'm pointing out what some of these houses had sold for. And then we get into more expensive houses. Rockport, 625, in Northview Park, Dominion, Runstetler, Apple Creek, Forest Clay Drive. Forest Clay Drive, this one sold for $665,000. That was amazing for Forest Clay Drive. It was a blow out of the park type of number. And then, of course, we did have some $1 million houses sell again this week, which also skews our numbers a little bit. Anybody on Argus to buy for list price on Argus, you did really, really well, because Argus is a very difficult road to ever find a house for sale on. So they did very, very well. And then, of course, it was a good mixture of real estate companies doing the business. And specific realtors. One of the challenges is this market is becoming very, very, very narrow. There's only specific realtors that are doing the business. But that's typically the case. The top 20% of realtors typically do 85% of the business here in the city of Windsor. And that's why I'm, reinvesting back in my business and getting another lead gen program set up. That'll be done this week. And then I'll have the results of that as well too going into the new year, because I'll just have that many more people to be able to talk to. Talk to a wonderful gentleman today with a PhD in environmental science, and can't wait to help him move back to Windsor. They were here for a little while, moved to Calgary, and want to come back to Windsor. And he's one of those clients that are looking for under $300,000. Just because he wants a house that he doesn't have to have a big, massive mortgage payment for. He's kind of a smart guy. He's a finance guy as well, too. He and I may do some different things in my finance business. I talked to him about that. But we'll see. There's a few things in between now and then. But anyway, so that's your kind of midday update or midweek update or Windsor real estate update. For this week, get you up to date. Average selling price, $520,000. Less and less and less of the inexpensive houses because we're selling through those. Once they're gone, they're gone. You better hurry. And so that's that for this market update. Have a great night. Enjoy your Sunday. Oh, one last thing to kind of share. I have been working very hard on getting my desk cleaned up so you can start to kind of see some wood on the desk here. It's kind of funny. People that know me, it's like it's one of those big challenges because I'm a printer. I use paper. I'm a paper-based guy, and so it's hard. But I'm doing better and better and better at it. That's why getting on the new phone that I'm using here now is kind of that next rendition as well too. It's like, okay, fine, go ahead and get this new phone, and then I can actually see my wonderful lamp that was at my grandfather's house back there in my corner, and it's a beautiful light when you turn it on as well too. And we can go back there and turn that on. That's a video. It's my video. I can do whatever I want to do with my video. So it's a wonderful lamp back there, and it casts a really nice light in the back corner of my office as well. But that is that for your market update. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for letting me make this a little bit fun. Enjoy your Sunday.